the great music that's played on Crescent Hill Radio, because it's local and regional musicians only. We have so many opportunities, and people listen to the station, and they're saying, these guys have got to be from like Nashville, or they've got to be. You can't have all local musicians, but we have to be aware of the fact that local musicians in this community there's a plethora, and not all of them get paid, and not all of them get paid enough. And so we like to give them the opportunity to promote themselves here on Crescent Hill Radio, give people a chance to listen to their music, and hopefully you will too. I'd suggest you do it by downloading our app to your phone, because who's ever without their phone? I mean, seriously. Download the app to your phone. You can find it at crescenthillradio.com or WCHQ, and then you can take us wherever you go. You can also hear us in your car radio, obviously. WCHQ is 100.9 FM. And if you're at home and you want to listen to us on any one of a million, electronic contraptions, you can do that too. But as I said, the only way that I would ever be able to listen to any radio station at all, anywhere, would be to download the Crescent Hill Radio app to my phone and listen to it all the time, because that's what I love to do. It's the first thing that turns on in the morning, wakes me up, last thing that goes off at night, and I get to hear all my favorite friends right here in Louisville who are local and regional musicians. And one of those happens to be tonight's guests, and they are called Small Time Napoleon. Wonderful band of guys, and I can't wait to hear from them. They haven't been on the show for a long time, and I'm just really, really glad to be having them back. So tune in at 7 o'clock tonight for the HomeGrown Radio Hour. You will be so glad you did. And again, you can watch us as well as listen to us. What we do is stream the HomeGrown Radio Hour straight to YouTube. So tune in tonight at 7 for the HomeGrown Radio Hour featuring Small Time Napoleon. They're going to go big time right here tonight on HomeGrown Radio Hour. Okay, so Sarah Daniel is with us, and I'm so glad that you were able to come in, and you were a pinch hitter for me because we had a last-minute health emergency in my other guest's family, and she wasn't able to be here, and our friend Lori Stogren saw my plea on Facebook, and she sent you to me, for which I'm grateful, but unfortunately, it was too late a notice for you to go and retrieve one of the many pit bulls. If you had been able to bring said pit bull with you, which would you have chosen and why?
It would have been Marley, who
aptly named.
Oh my goodness, she's a particularly fabulous dog. She's actually an American bulldog that Lori from Metro suckered me into, even though I had a couple other dogs at the time. I have my one foster failure who also came from Metro. He had heartworm, and everyone told me, they're like, you're keeping that dog. I'm like, I absolutely am not. And everyone was right, because I totally kept Samson.
Of course.
But Marley and Samson's a big, massive, white and brindle American bulldog who was silent and the most adorable thing in the entire world. And Metro contacted me. We're like, hey, we have miniature, and by miniature we mean 70-pound.
Wow,
miniature. Yeah, we have miniature female Samson here, and she's terrified. She's not doing well in the shelter. We can't even walk her through the kennel without her pancaking. I was like, okay, I'll meet her. And then I met her. I was like, all right, I'll come back and get her tomorrow.
Oh, how sad.
And
has she come out of her shell?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Sometimes my two dogs are just so dog friendly, and
that's awesome.
So many dogs have actually learned how to be dogs because of Pierre and Samson. Just be like, no, we are safe. This is Mom. She is the boss. You will have. I mean, it's.
Okay,
so
now
it's
explain to me, because a lot of people ask this question, and we may or may not be able to clarify it so that everybody will be happy, because we all have different definitions. But what is the difference between a pit bull and a Staffordshire Terrier and an American Bulldog? All the different things that we call bully breeds, which include other types of dogs as well. But distinguish for us, because I've been told a pit bull is not even a real breed.
It's funny that that's even like a controversial thing, because it's true. What you're saying is totally true. There is such a thing as an American pit bull. Mm-hmm. I dare you to try to find a purebred one for me.
Right.
Is it a breed? Sure. But, if I had a dime for every, person like, oh, this is a purebred blue nose gator mouth pit. I'm like, that is nonsense. Okay. You know, I breed unicorns.
Yes, exactly.
Right. I mean, but they're just so
they're inbred.
Right.
Let's
right.
just say it. They're
right.
mixed around.
Exactly.
And,
But because of that, they're actually really healthy dogs.
Yeah, much
but,
better.
Not inbred, but I mean like mixed breed. You know, they're pretty
Crossbred.
much crossbred.
Yeah.
They're bull mutts, and because of that they're super healthy. But so there are American bulldogs, and they tend to be bigger. The Staffies tend to be little cement blocks or cinder blocks with legs. They're pretty.
Cinder blocks
Oh,
with
that's
legs.
my
I like
sister
that.
has a Staffy, and that's exactly what he looks like. It looks like you spray painted a cinder block white and put some legs on him.
That's an American
His name is
Staffordshire
Butterball. Yeah, his
Terrier.
name is Butterball because when he was born, he looked like a butterball turkey. But it is. You hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
You know, it's like there's so many pit bulls and things that people categorize as pit bulls out there, but sometimes we just kind of guess. Like,
Well, and I think that the reason I asked that question is because there have been several stories in the news recently, not necessarily locally, but the guy who had his dog kicked out of the condo that he lived in because he was a specific type of dog, and the guy kept saying, it's a boxer. And
Right.
they kept saying it was a pit bull.
oh my gosh,
And they took this dog away from him and forever. And the dog was his baby.
yeah.
And it was ridiculous because even a note from the vet said that the dog was a boxer,
Right.
but they didn't believe him. And
I
they
mean,
had
there's
the final
dogs-
say.
And there's dogs that have wider muzzles that aren't even in the bull. Like my friend has an Akita mix. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, that's a pit bull mix. I'm like, that is an Akita. That is not a pit bull.
And
Not even a bull breed.
They don't even look alike.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. Let's
Nice
get
try.
that out of the way
Thank
real
you.
quick.
Right, they don't. Google Akita.
Holy-
It doesn't look like a pit bull.
Hysterical. So what's the size range from what to what that you're talking about your typical pit?
Usually, so pits are actually like true pit bulls are actually a lot smaller than people think. So a true pit bull is going to be about 40 to 55 pounds.
Mm-hmm. And then what are the giant ones that are, portrayed like the dog who used to be the cartoon dog with the great big head and chest, and I don't remember what his deal was.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about.
Not even the cartoon.
Well,
Was it Tweety
American?
Bird?
Yes, I do know what you're talking about. I think that he was supposed to be like a bulldog, like
Yes.
an English bulldog,
Yes.
which they actually can be massive.
Yes, I've seen them before.
But my Samson he is a what Metro and everyone who has seen him, including the vet, guess that he is a purebred American bulldog, and he's 110 pounds.
Holy smoke!
Right. So
What an
he's
impressive animal.
he is a I can't, whenever I take him to like the Highlands Fest or anything like that, we move approximately 2 feet at a time, and I have to have people bring me beer because I can't make it there because everyone's loving on Samson, including children. Even toddlers come up and let him make out with their faces.
Were you at the Highlands Fest? Did you just say that over?
Oh, I wasn't. Yes, I didn't make it to this year. I made it to the last.
Is that Samson or is that?
Oh, that's Bonnie. Bonnie was
Bonnie.
from the with the Arrow Fund, actually.
Oh,
So
what a sweetheart.
before I got my 501c3 status, I fostered for Metro and I fostered for Arrow Fund.
Awesome.
Both are amazing. So yeah,
They are.
Bonnie and Clyde were, oh my gosh, they were just absolutely, totally emaciated near death when Arrow Fund was contacted, and they were also oh my gosh, they were unbelievably rewarded. The funny thing is that Bonnie is now borderline obese with her new owner, but they love that dog.
Okay, so just
much.
run through the Facebook pictures here for me. Who's this?
Oh, that's Dory.
Okay.
And there's Patton. He was Parvo. He was from Miss Dixie, who I referenced earlier, Mother Teresa of the West End.
Yes.
Yeah, those are all my. There's Coco, actually.
Oh, how
Lori.
Yes.
That's her baby's mama.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, so
Her baby's mama.
Her baby's mama.
And who's this?
That was Buttercup, now Maya, and she was
Oh.
shot in the face, so
Oh,
she's doing a
Lord.
whole lot better. We pulled her from Metro. It's kind of hard to see there, but it broke her eye socket of her. But she's now so happy, and actually, the people who adopted her adopted my first one of my first two pit bulls from the Pit Bulls of St. Francis. I named them Simon and Cecilia.
Oh.
And so Cece is now her sister.
Oh, that is so cute. And I tell you what, who's this guy, the white
That's
one?
Clyde from Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, that is
Oh
so
my gosh.
cute.
He's
Now,
just so
Obadiah.
special.
Lori says Obadiah.
Yes. So
And he's deaf?
he is. He actually he came from a home, a patient's home, and my patient, that particular one, is bedbound and just the salt of the earth.
Aw.
Just the most wonderful woman, but hasn't left her room in years. But her son,
And you do in-house patient
correct,
care.
correct,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
I make house calls for
Yes.
homebound and home limited individuals, and
you can say it. It's MD to you.
yeah, I love it. I love MDDU.
Yeah.
But her son wasn't able to, take care of Coco, who was their
Right.
boxer.
Right.
And so every time that she went into heat, she ran off and got Prego Maego. And
Oh, no.
right. And, she's so great. But they just couldn't take care of her. And then so they lost I finally convinced them to let me take the last boy puppy, who happened to be Obi, who I don't know who Obi's daddy is, but like Obi was like 10 times bigger than all of the other puppies from this litter. He was just like this giant, deaf, happy dog. And I'm so glad that Chris and Lori ended up with him, because deaf dogs are fantastic, but they take patience.
Of course.
It's just you have to be trained how to train a deaf dog.
Yes.
And they have completely done that. It's been so cool to go over and see. This dog knows more dogs than my Doberman, who can hear,
Isn't
and he's
that
deaf.
amazing?
Yeah, they've done an amazing job. And then they ended up letting me take Coco after she got pregnant. Actually, I didn't know that she was pregnant either. That she was totally a Trojan horse to our mutual friends, because they were like, "Oh, we know someone who wants Coco's mama." So when they finally let me have Coco, and their amazing friends, the Fullers, adopted her, I got a text like 3 or 4 weeks later. They were like, so Coco started having babies on the husbands while Lori and Ann were in Denver. So these two dudes were like, oh no, they're
What do we
delivering
do?
babies.
What do we do? Well,
like,
I'll tell you
go
what
ahead.
I've done here is I've just zoomed in real close so that people can see the photos on your Facebook page. And the dogs are just remarkable. I mean, you've got dog after dog after dog. And I just want to kind of go over a couple of names. This guy here in the white with Santa Claus would be
Clyde.
That's Clyde again. And then who's the little cutie pie that this picture is of the blonde holding him up in her arms?
Wedding dress.
In her wedding dress, nonetheless.
That's Troy. Troy was abandoned close to my patient's house.
Aw.
And ended up just being the most rewarding. Oh, he's so special.
Who's the one who's attacking who? Your
a
boyfriend? Your
vicious. Oh,
girlfriend?
that's
Your-
my coworker's son. Actually, that's a vicious pit bull attack of Tilly violently kissing her.
I'm sure.
her daddy.
And we have a young one here who's
Yep.
giving some attention.
Right. So that's Rizzo. So I found he and his brother running across. Sorry.
You're okay.
Off there. I found he and his brother running across Magazine Street,
Aw.
and the lady who had the mom was paraplegic and couldn't take care of them, so she asked me if I would take them.
Oh, and who's this guy here with the
That
little
is-
Spuds McKenzie eye patch?
That is Jack. He is.
I'm going to see what happens if... Oh, look, that's a much better photo.
Oh, so
Okay.
spoiled.
You can see it up there now.
so spoiled.
Okay,
and happy.
Jack.
And there's
then
Magpie.
Some of the pictures are not upright, but that's okay. And this is Rizzo again?
There's Rizzo. Yep, looking miserable
Now,
because
he
I
looks
just
like a baby.
Oh, he was a puppy, and I
Okay.
had he was in a crate full of poop when I went back to get him, so that's
Aw.
why he looks pretty miserable.
He wasn't
there.
happy.
He hadn't had his bath and
No.
whatnot.
Poor
so
little guy. And this
Oh,
is Opal.
my
Did she
gosh.
get a foster?
yes, so she my. It's funny how the dog world brings strangers together,
It
where
is.
you just
Yep.
meet your soul sisters
Yep.
and brothers through this job. But my friend who works at Metro had sent me a text about this stray dog named Opal, who's just this amazing and sweet dog. And she's like, she just needs somewhere to lay down and spend the rest of her life.
Aw.
She's got breast cancer and heartworm.
Aw.
And I posted that on Facebook because I had just taken in another hospice dog, and my friend Stephanie stepped up, and both of us kind of fell in love with seniors at that point. You call them phosphorus.
Of course.
And they were, for both of us, for me, I had Hattie and she had Opal, and they were just the most rewarding dogs. They had these tough lives, but they just forget. They forget their miserable lives before and just appreciate the moment so much more.
They live in the present.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to take a second to live in the present and hear what's going on outside tonight in the music world. This is courtesy of our Morning Jam guys.
Let's take a look at the WCHQ concert view for Wednesday, November 2nd.
Top of the screen that says
List your gig. Thanks, Bryce and Kevin. 7 to 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. They are a part of the show, and I tell you what, they do a great job on the Morning Jam. Lots of great music and guests. It's Waggin Wednesday, and we are having fun in the studio with Sarah Daniel, who has the Pit Bulls of St. Francis. You will probably ask why that is, and I would like to play Nick Pay for the rest of the show, but unfortunately we have to get down to business here. We are showing you pictures straight from Sarah Daniel's Facebook page, and they're just so precious. You've got all these dogs on here, and you were telling us about the little senior dog who was so well loved and taken care of in the last days of her life, and then you've got some of the younger animals too. This is a cute pair. This happens to be Bonnie and Clyde. Tell me about them.
They were those are the two that I was referring to earlier from the Arrow Fund. When
Hilarious.
oh my gosh, I'll tell you what, it's kind of funny because this is like my personal Facebook page and not even like the actual Pit Bulls of St. Francis page, and it just kind of reminds me of the fact that I exclusively use Facebook to pawn my dogs off on other people and find fosters. But it does come around and bite me in the butt sometimes because people will tag me to stuff. And then Bonnie and Clyde, I wasn't even looking to foster outside of Metro because that was prior to me starting my 501c3.
Sure.
And I just saw Bonnie and Clyde on my news feed. I was like, oh.
Well, they're sweet. And I
got 'em.
remember when they came into the Arrow Fund and what terrible condition they were in. So I'm very grateful for the fact that the Arrow Fund took care of them. And then, you did a great job. And this dog was an absolute heartbreak. And tell me about this dog.
Oh my gosh. I can't really help but smile when I look at this picture just because I know what he is now.
Yes.
That is Sheldon. And I found Sheldon in an alley off of, I think in between 45th and very, very far into the West End.
Eating garbage, covered with fleas, covered in mats.
Yep, the works. And my best friend's mother-in-law or in-laws ended up adopting him. And I mean, shaved down, he's unrecognizable now. He's the cutest little Shih Tzu on earth, and he's so spoiled. He gets 300 scratches a day. She counts them out. She's her mother-in-law is a ridiculously neurotic little thing. So he hasn't gotten all of his scratches today. So he walks up.
Thank God for neurosis.
I know. Thank goodness.
That's all I can say.
He's so spoiled.
Good thing. And that looks like he, was getting ready to get his shave done.
Oh my god.
And he's just the cutest little thing, and I can only imagine what he looks like now. This is a pretty good sized pup. Is that one of the Bonnie and Clyde?
That's Bonnie.
Yeah, really cute.
There's
who's that?
That is who you saw Rizzo earlier. That's his brother Gus. That's the one who I almost hit with the car and then stopped and found that lady. So
of course
he was adopted by amazing. They had just lost their senior dog, and actually they'd lost her about 6 months ago, but they'd she's from the Arrow Fund. That's Poppy.
Yeah,
I think she was finally
Poppy.
adopted.
Yep, she was.
Oh my gosh, she gave the best hugs.
You can keep talking. I'm just going through and checking.
And there's Jackie again. I called him Emo when I first found him because that it's hard to tell, but that little mark that's on above his left eye looks like a teardrop. So I was like, oh, he's like a little emo dog.
Oh, he's
so
so
Jackie
cute.
now. He's owned by a physician and her husband, and they're just so happy and spoiled.
You're giving the owners of these dogs some pretty big, heavy-duty language here, so I'm glad that I'm not showing that on my video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm
Glad I'm not showing that on the picture feed. There he is again, or is that a different one?
Oh, that's Gus.
Yeah,
that was
the one that was in the... Was that the one that was in the arms of the...
Yes.
Kid? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
that's
that was
what
his
I thought.
adoption picture. So I think these are all going back.
Too adorable.
I know, so
Oh
adorable.
yeah, look at that darling
Yep.
baby.
I cried when he was adopted.
So what I should do
There's
is
Samson.
oh, so cute. So what I should do is go to the Pitbulls of St. Francis page, because I'm sure, probably, should I go to the website, or is there a Facebook page?
The Facebook page.
The Pitbulls.
And it's actually 2 separate words there.
Oh, is
so
it
if I
really?
could go back and fix that, I would make them 1 word, even though it's technically 2 words for the actual.
But you can't ever, can you?
Right, you totally can't, because everyone's like, I can't find it. I'm like, oh, it's 'cause
this
it's
is
2 words
so
there.
cute. Okay, so I liked your site, which is
well,
awesome.
thank you.
You're
That's so
welcome.
important.
You're welcome. And who is this lovely person who's taking the picture? Who's in the picture with all these dogs?
Oh, that's me.
I know.
That is totally me. 20 pounds heavier. So,
Oh, for
you know.
heaven's sake!
I know.
Well,
Daggone
this
dogs.
is a nice group right here, and you can go to Pitbulls of St. Francis Facebook page and just take a look at all the wonderful animals that are being depicted. And I really appreciate the fact that you've done what you've done, because there are so many people who just who just wouldn't really care enough to stop and rescue a dog who's been left out or has run away or has been dumped. And I'm one of those completely ridiculous people too, where I'll get out and run down the middle of the street, stopping cars.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to catch, one of the animals that has gotten loose, and it sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I want to pull up a couple of pictures here though. This is adorable.
Oh my gosh, Four Pegs in Germantown did the best fundraiser for us that they called 4 Paws at 4 Pegs.
Oh, how cute.
And we had so many people come out, and that was Teddy. We got bow ties for the boy dogs.
Very nice.
So he's sporting that. Oh, there's Marley.
Oh,
there's
Marley.
Marley, who should have been here today. She's a total makeout bandit.
She is adorable. And adopt me.
Oh my gosh,
Goodness.
she's so wonderful.
And these dogs just, all of they say these things, and I always think, oh, it's just ridiculous, but it's true. It seems that animals who are adopted have a better concept of what love is than many of the ones who are purchased.
Absolutely.
And I believe that just because they've known such a tough life.
And even just talking about Bonnie earlier, Bonnie was the one that got away for me. Like, I known that if I had kept Bonnie, I wouldn't have been able to continue fostering. So I didn't let myself see Bonnie for like a year because I couldn't handle that. And I actually just saw her for the first time a year later, and that dog tackled me.
Oh, I
and
bet.
they remember every single one of them, whether I have them for 3 days or whether I have them for 3 months. No matter how far down the road, when we see each other again, the response that I get when I see them from the dogs, because I was, and I'm not saying
you're
this
the
to,
first one who took them out of their misery,
yeah,
basically.
I was the first person to be nice to them
Yeah,
a lot.
exactly.
And it's just unbelievable how they remember that. And their owners are all amazing humans. It's not like they prefer me to them at all.
Right.
It's just that it's just so they remember and they're grateful. And I love being a nurse practitioner so much. I wouldn't have done anything to everyone's like, why didn't you become a vet? I'm like, well, I still love people. Like, I love my patients. But I just didn't know. I didn't know to explore the avenue early in my life of helping animals too. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It is. Who's this, Titan?
He was a post that I made to see if anyone would step up to foster him. He's actually still in a home needing help. So if anyone wants a 4 to 5 year old beautiful, sweet pit bull, you're welcome to contact me, because so many people reach out to me asking for help to find fosters. But again, kind of going back to what we were talking earlier, we're saturated and
once again used as a bait dog, won't
Yeah.
defend himself, not aggressive at all. House
Right.
dog, absolutely house trained, microchipped, neutered. I mean, it looks like it's just an ideal dog. Gets along well with children.
right.
Holy smoke, that's
know.
just fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so Titan is available.
There's Jenny. Jenny's in Jenny's in a trial adoption right now that's going really well.
Oh,
She's so
let's hope it
sweet.
continues to.
Yep.
What a spoiled baby.
She's magnificent.
Oh, she's give me a treat.
I know.
Give me a treat
She's
now.
gotten significantly fatter. There's
I'm
Teddy
sure.
again.
Teddy is adorable. Teddy reminds me of my Wyatt. He's got that same little impish look on his face. Like, I'm going to get into stuff.
His foster mom loves him so much. So if you know of anyone who wants a little dachshund mix, he is.
So how big is he? It's hard to tell from
He's
the
about.
photos.
He's actually about 30
Is he?
pounds. He's a solid dude. But
Dachshund what? Elephant?
I guess he's. I don't know. Dachshund Clydesdale. I guess he's. He's a little dog,
Maybe
but
shepherd.
he's so dense.
Yeah.
He does look. He does have some. There's Xena.
Wait. I missed one. Here we
Yeah,
go.
she's the same. She's in foster as well,
Oh,
too.
she's
Oh my gosh.
adorable.
Talk about a dog. I mean, when people say pit bulls, vicious pit bulls. I wish I need to upload the pics of Xena like holding children. She curls around she loves babies. Oh, she's about a year old.
Yeah.
Incredible. Oh, there we go.
there's
Yeah,
one?
there we go. That's her with my friend's baby.
Oh.
Loves children. She's up for adoption. She's about a year old, housebroken, incredibly smart and well behaved.
And just in the interests of common sense, we never recommend that you leave a child alone with any dog of any size or of any age. It doesn't matter what the breed. You don't leave children
Amen,
unsupervised
sister.
with animals. You just don't.
Amen.
I would say the same thing about cats. I would say don't do it to your bunny rabbit.
or just don't leave kids unsupervised.
In general, that's when the most damage can be done.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
That picture of the baby on the dog was taken immediately
by an adult.
Yes, in the
Exactly.
present there.
Now, who's this little boo-boo?
This is Jenny. So that was when I first got her from Davies County. They are a
Kill
very,
shelter.
very high kill
Yes, they
shelter.
are.
And it's not from their fault. I don't know how they get such an influx of animals.
Well, because people don't spay and neuter.
Right. Well,
Simply.
yes. I guess it's just so they seem to have like an incredibly high.
They do.
influx.
And everybody in Louisville pulls from Davis
They
County.
work so hard, and they do such a good job of really trying to promote as much as possible.
Yes, they
so
do.
Jenny she looks totally miserable in this picture because she was, but she's now incredibly happy. She was kept in a cage her entire life.
Oh, that makes me sick.
Bow-legged. She's about 4 to 5 years old, but I mean, she has cauliflower ears and her front teeth are broken out from being in a cage. And
Chewing
she
on
was
it.
bred. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was bred until she had a PIO. She had an infection in her uterus when I got her.
Right.
She was very, very close to death. So when I got her from a wonderful lady named Jill who traveled the whole 3-hour drive to get her to my house, she immediately was taken in to Hopewell Vet Center. Oh my gosh,
They're
Dr.
fantastic.
Brown.
Yes.
Goodness, hats off to Dr. Brown.
Yep.
She has been a huge blessing
Yeah,
to us.
she does a lot. Yep.
Absolutely. And Jenny's very, very special for her, actually. She's just like, oh my gosh, if I didn't have as many dogs. But so she was hospitalized for 3 days. She had pneumonia from where someone had kicked her, and she had broken ribs in a subsequent. But she's great now.
Good.
There's Jenny loving
She's
on.
beautiful, kissing the vet tech.
Oh, there's her and Dr. Brown. See, she immediately knew how to weasel her way into
Yeah, she's got a can of wet food. That's all that you need with a dog. It's puppy
yep.
crack in a can.
There's Xena again.
Oh man, I tell you what, these are just this is an amazing dog.
And there's
Teddy.
Teddy. There's
Yep.
Teddy.
Bullitt County Shelter. Good
Yeah.
Lord. Oh, he's on a Corunda bed.
There's Jenny. I know I was tagged to Jenny and I was tagged to Teddy, and
Thank heavens
there's
that
Dory.
people will tag you to find these animals before it's too late. I mean, that's the part that just always kills me. It's when is it time? Well, the time is now. This is Waggin Wednesday. I'm here with Sarah Daniel of the Pit Bulls of St. Francis. We are scanning through the pictures of the dogs. We hope you'll like one enough to foster or adopt. Right here from Waggin Wednesday on Crescent Hill Radio.